Hi guys, welcome to another video from Cichlid Bros. Today we're going to be walking through a fish room tour of all of our tanks, including the 4 in our classroom right here and 3 other big tanks in our home. We'll give a quick overview of each of the tanks and the fish that we currently have stocked. Please make sure to subscribe, like the video, and leave any questions in the comments below. The first tank we have here is a 75-gallon aquarium. It's currently stocked with South American cichlids along with a bala shark. The setup is driftwood, rocks, and some live plants. The sand substrate was definitely a must because we have some geophagus species. The first here is a geophagus balzani. We also have a bala shark right here. And right here in this little hole is a Synodontis petricola. We don't really see him much. Here is a Jurupari cichlid. It's one of my favorite fish that I currently own. It's very peaceful and it's a beautiful fish, so I'll get about 10 inches long. Here's an electric blue acara, about 4 inches long right now. And here's a quick feeding video of a red spotted severum that's really starting to grow, along with an electric blue acara. The next tank we have here is a 38-gallon aquarium. It's primarily South American cichlids again. First off, we have a school of Harlequin rasboras. There's 9 of them in this tank. We also have 7 redhead tapajos, geophagus species. They're still juveniles growing out and will eventually go in my 75-gallon aquarium. These guys are already beautiful, but I can't wait for them to color up even more as they grow. They'll be about 6 to 7 inches long, full grown, and can't wait for that. And then in the back there we have a dwarf flag cichlid. I actually purchased this thinking it was a keyhole cichlid. It ended up being a dwarf flag. And here we have a juvenile German blue ram. Next here we have our 55-gallon Mbuna tank. These Mbuna are from Lake Malawi, and their natural habitat is usually a rockscape like this. We have about 15 different Mbuna in this tank. 4 are red cherry zebras, 3 yellow labs, 3 johannes, 2 yellowtail ACI, a chalosi, a Tropius duboisii, and a trubavuse. Since these African cichlids are constantly swimming around, it's really hard to capture them on film, at least individually. However, we did get a spotlight on a few of them and we'll highlight their names throughout. Next we have the first of 4 different classroom aquariums. This one right here is a 75-gallon Central American cichlid tank. We have some driftwood, some fake plants, and some rocks. And definitely having some hiding places helps for some of your more aggressive Central American cichlids like these. First off, we have our Dempsey. we have a care guide video that we'll put up in the upper right hand corner in case you're curious about that. We also have 2 female convict cichlids here. This Jack Dempsey has a little bite taken out of his tail, as you can see, because this Salvini cichlid that is appearing now has really started to become more aggressive as it's matured. This is a female Salvini cichlid. Most of the time these cichlids are very aggressive. Since this is a female, we're hoping she stays a little less aggressive, but she does seem to be the leader or the queen of the tank. The only other fish she even bothers with is the Jack Dempsey. Here we have a golden Somme, sometimes called a green terror. When we first put this guy in the tank, he was picked on a little bit and had some roughed up fins, but those have made a full recovery and this guy is looking really good and colored up. Because he's a little smaller than the Salvini and Jack Dempsey, he doesn't really get picked on too much. If he's ever battling any fish in the tank, it's usually one of the 2 convicts. We also have 4 giant Danios. These guys provide a lot of activity to the top of the tank, and we've actually had them breed in this tank. Next, we have a 35-gallon aquarium that is the home of our Flowerhorn. This is a female Flowerhorn. It's about 5 to 6 months old, but it's already laying eggs. If you look closely there, it looks like the tube is sticking out where she is looking to lay her eggs soon. She usually lays her eggs on that rock right there. What you can see her doing right now is preparing her nest. So she takes big mouthfuls of sand, she moves things around how she wants them before she actually does lay her eggs on this rock. One day we'll get her a male and we'll see if they can breed together and have that male fertilize her eggs. Since Flowerhorns can be so aggressive and they actually get pretty large, up to like 10 to 12 inches long, we will keep her in a tank by herself for the rest of her life. We'll actually upgrade her tank. We have a 65-gallon tank waiting to be set up for her, so she'll be in a good place long term. The next tank in our classroom is this 10-gallon tank that holds our giant Danio and Jack Dempsey fry. These guys are doing really well, growing fast. The giant Danios swim at the top of the tank and the Jack Dempseys stay at the bottom. We put some random assortments of decor in here just to provide hiding places so that these guys can feel more comfortable. There's plenty of algae in this tank as well. We have some nerite snails down at the bottom of this tank just to keep that under control. but the fry also like to feed off of the algae as well. Next we have the 20-gallon long in the classroom. This has a Firemouth cichlid along with some GloFish and 2 red serpate tetras. This tank is in a bit of a transition period as we're trying to figure out what we want to go with. This Firemouth has hit out most of the time we've had it, so we're trying to get it more comfortable with its surroundings and find tank mates that are suitable for it long term. Just something a bit different than some of our other tanks, and the kids in the classroom really seem to like it. So those are the 7 aquariums that we currently have. We have a few that are about to be set up, and we'll provide updates on those coming soon. As always, make sure to subscribe down below. We're going to have new content coming out weekly, along with some of those new tank builds, and I think you'll really enjoy it. Thanks again for watching.